Alright guys, I'm planning to chop on this car. Kind of getting a little ahead of myself here, but I went and got some angle iron, and I plan on, I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a, this isn't written in stone, but I think I'm going to do a diagonal, maybe, or I might do it a little bit, higher, obviously, on these B pillars, and then maybe towards the back. I don't know how bad this back will let loose if I brace these B pillars. I'm more worried about the door fitment. So I'm going to definitely brace these, maybe across, and then maybe diagonal to the front. So I got this. I have this book. This is apparently like the Bible for chopping tops. It's Tex Smith's How to Chop Tops. I found it on eBay. And it has a section for 30 to 31 Ford Coupe, so right up my alley. Now what they do here is they're cutting across, straight across here. I understand there's a way that different method that Jimmy Shine does, that he'll cut across this belt line here, I believe it is, and then maybe kind of stagger the cuts. From what I have this information here. I can't find anything on the Jimmy Shine method. I haven't really looked super hard, but on the ham or anything, I haven't really looked at a step-by-step method. So I'm probably just going to do this. I figured this is the way that guys have been doing for a long time, and it should work. And I have my steps here, the way I'm going to do it. It also shows how to fill in the roof here. I actually know a guy that just did a coupe that he used a Camaro roof, I think it was, or something like that. And we are not filling in the roof in this. We're getting a wood kit for it and putting on the original style top. So I don't have to worry about filling the roof in. But what we're going to do is what I'm going to do is I bought this tape here, and this is 3" exactly. I measured it. I'm going to use this as my guide here. I'm probably going to I'd like to take a couple days just to plan this out. Really no rush on this chop at all. I'm still working out all this crap here. I've got the quarter panel starting to bang out a little bit. Still have low spots, and on the weld here still have low spot. But I'd like to get that as straight as possible before I take a swipe of fiberglass across it. And then this here looks really ugly. It's pretty embarrassing actually, but it's just I kept burning through. I keep burning holes, and chasing it. So actually this last time around, and like I said, I know it's ugly, but I welded on the back side and then on the front side, so I know I have every time. The problem is every time I get it to fill in a hole, I think it's sitting on top, and I have my heat up, so it's penetrating, but I don't know, maybe I don't have the wire speed and heat correct, but when I start grinding it down, and I do it slowly, it's not like I'm taking the body grinder to it and just whacking it off, but I start getting, breaking through and thinning the metal out again. So I'm going on the back side and on the front side too. Some areas I've gotten like this, I'm starting to get. This I did from the back side and the back side, and then these I'm going to knock down. Those are right. I started hammering dollying this out this way so I can try and kind of grind it, but not have like a valley in there. But once again, I'm going to do a little swipe, and I'm not trying to cover all this crap up, but I'm gonna once I don't want to cover that obviously and all this crap, so I wanted to get it where I'm not trapping anything in there. But once I get it to where it's looking like this, then I'll do a swipe of just one little swipe of fiberglass all the way around, and feather that out and go from there. So I've been working on this. This bottom I ground. This is all welded together with the inner structure, and this here, the ugly part that obviously I've welded, is it started to burn up. So I'm fighting that. I understand, guys. I'm not good at this. I know, but I'm doing my best. So maybe it's not good enough, but it'll work. But anyway, so I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. I've got the other quarter panel to do too. I have a serious issue with just getting fed up and walking away. So I'm trying to kind of do different things on this to keep my interest level up and keep working at it. This car is getting done. I am getting this car done. And the owner, who is my dad, is worse than me. He just as soon sell it than you know, sit here for another 2 years getting it done. So I'm trying to kind of fight that too. You know, I'm trying to get it done so he doesn't lose interest. So I mean, if it comes down to it, it's his car. So if he wants to get rid of it, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm definitely going to do my best to not let him do that. You can see my door gap is pretty decent. That's the best I could do with that quarter panel. So it's a little bit smaller in the bottom. Like I said, these cars aren't very exact. I do my best, and hopefully this chop works out. I've got all the glass out of it. The back window's kind of hanging up on me, and I'm trying to be kind of finesse it out because it's, you know, 80-year-old glass, I think. Actually, it probably isn't because it's safety glass, so it's not 80-year-old glass, but it's old glass. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to start planning this out. I got some new subscribers, and I know I don't have a lot of videos up. Just to give a little rundown of my channel, not to get too far into all my stuff, but I started this channel to get a 56 bug finished, and I never did finish it. And in a way that kind of motivated me to finish all my other stuff, you know, after I sold that. And I sold it for good reason, you know. I was trying to make it into something that I didn't have. And basically I wanted an old, you know, American 50s car, and I wanted to change the bug into that kind of style of car. And I thought to myself, well, you know, why don't I just get one of those, you know? And that's when I got the shoebox, and I got that done. But and there's a few things that happened towards the beginning that kind of turned me off to YouTube a little bit, you know. And everybody went through it, I think, with some drama and this and that. But the way I look at it is, I haven't met a person on YouTube that's a bad person, and I think sometimes videos or whatnot can be taken out of context. And if you're not standing there, it's kind of like when you texting somebody, and they you know, don't really understand what you're saying, as far as you're not being you're not coming across how you want to, you know. I think sometimes that's what happens here on YouTube, and I know a lot of guys have gone through a lot of stuff, and people take it the wrong way, and this and that and the other. So kind of went through some of that, not too bad, but and like I said, you know, and I've even taken people the wrong way, and you know, the longer I'm on here, the more I realize that they're decent people too. So but that's, you know, I kind of stopped making videos, or at least not as much as I did when I first started, and I still don't have a lot of videos up. But basically I've just kind of tried to narrow my channel down to just doing work on these cars, and then, you know, trying to leave everything else out of it. So but anyway, so that's a rundown of my channel. If you look back in my old videos, I did this 49 here. This is a picture taken from one of the local car shows in Cincinnati, and I had a really good time with that car. This is one of those cars where I thought I wouldn't ever sell it, and when I sold it, I kind of regretted it. But I'm in the position where if I don't sell a car, I don't get another one. So I was kind of looking to move on, maybe hone my skills in a little bit more with body work and whatnot, and you know, kind of like to drive everything. So believe me, if I could have more than one car, I would have kept that one. Although there's no excuse for the car that I bought after that. I bought a Mustang, and I didn't have that for very long. But anyway, so in the near future, I'm going to be chopping this this Model A. It's going to be my first chop. Obviously, I am an amateur. I know some people are cringing thinking about me chopping this top because you know, you don't want to mess up a car like this, but this is how I'm going to learn. So that's what I'm going to do, and I guarantee you I'm going to do my very, very, very best So 3 inches on this. I'm 6'5", my dad's 6'4", so we will be sitting on the floor, I believe, to be able to drive this car. But that's the way you gotta do it. That's the way you gotta do it. This steering wheel, I don't know if I ever talked about the steering wheel. It's out of an old boat, and we're gonna be incorporating that into the car. I'm gonna be doing kind of a I don't know what you call it, rebuild and paint video on that. Not anytime soon, but sometime in the future. So I'll be doing that. My Plymouth, I'll be doing videos on the Plymouth every now and then. The Plymouth is not here. The Plymouth at my my parents' house. The deal is that I do the body work on this, and my dad tries to figure out the wiring on a 318 Magnum, keeping the fuel injection and everything, and keeping it in the old Plymouth. So I am not good at that at all. He's the wiring guy. He's a mechanic for Delta, so he's got some more skill than me. So he's going to be doing that. We've got it, or he's got it to the point to where the accessory works. When you turn on the ignition, it'll crank through the original ignition. And right now he's figuring out the fuel pump. He's got a fuel pump in the tank, the electric fuel pump. He modified the engine came out of a Dodge truck, so he modified the fuel pump for that, and then he's figuring out the wiring in that. I welded up motor mounts for him to put in it. We're using Dart or Duster motor mounts for the 318. They might be one and the same, but we're doing that. And when he needs tranny mounts, I'm going to weld those up, and we'll go get a drive shaft cut for it once it's running, and we'll just piece it together for that from there. But that's going to be a cool project once I'm really into it, because it's you know, 57 Plymouth isn't something you see every day, so especially for some of the stuff I've got planned for it, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on that. Obviously that's not going to be anytime soon, but I'd like to get it running and driving and cruising in it here. But it needs floors and this and that, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do as far as trim goes. But going to make it kind of a mild custom, hopefully. So that's where we're at there. So this is it for that video, or this video, and when I bring you back, I'll probably be still planning this chop out and cleaning this crap up, finishing up this, and then moving to the other side. Excuse me. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for the new subscribers.